is earthly.
Mm.
And he who is from above is above all. Just trying to find the reference. Those are in the words of Jesus. He
It's John
who,
chapter 3.
sorry,
3.
John chapter 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3:31.
Yeah.
Okay. So John 3:31, it says, he that cometh from above is above all. He that is of the earth is earthly, and speaketh of the earth. And that cometh from the earth, and he that cometh from heaven is above all. Now, that is, oh, can you see me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, something happened here to my, there you go, I'm there. Okay, so that beast comes from the earth. Jesus says, if it comes from above, it's heavenly, or is of heavenly origin. But if it comes from the earth, is earthly.
Henderson.
Where does this beast come from? The second beast.
The earth.
The earth.
From the earth.
Yeah.
So
that just leaves one question.
yeah.
What does it mean to come from the abyss or the deep?
Okay. Come from the dead.
Okay.
I
Like, is
think
it
it's
demonic?
Sorry?
Does that mean demonic?
Oh yeah, of demonic origin, yes. Because
Yeah.
we will look at the trumpets.
Okay.
We will look at the trumpets, and we'll look at the fifth trumpet, and we will actually see how demonic it is. It is
Okay.
actually demonic. It's actually, in fact, the deep, when it says don't take us to the deep before our time, is the place of demons and the place
Exactly.
of death. Place of demons, place of death. So
Well,
this beast coming from the sea gives up the dead. The one that was in with a mortal wound, but now the mortal wound has been healed. See, mortal wound being healed. It comes out of the dead. So, but when it says that it comes from the deep, it actually reveals not just a mere resurrection of the beast, but also the demonic origin of it. The dark spiritism origin of it.
I want to welcome Jonathan Henderson. He's on now too.
oh, nice.
Yay.
Okay.
Hey,
Hi,
everyone.
Jonathan.
Hi.
So the earth is earthly. That beast is earthly. It does not come. So if it's earthly, Jesus says, is not from above. You get that?
Mm-hmm.
The second beast is earthly, meaning it does not come from above. But how is that beast trying to show everyone that comes from above? By bringing fire down from heaven in the Son of Man. Because he's trying to sort of show that it comes from above.
Well,
rather than from the earth or from earthly.
Well, and then in Revelation 13, it says he blasphemes the holy angels, which Revelation seems to have a definition for blaspheme to mean to counterfeit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Now notice, we have the second beast is dressed as a lamb. So who is the lamb?
Jesus.
Satan.
Jesus.
Oh.
No, the lamb. The lamb.
Well, it says oh, you mean the second beast?
Yeah, the second beast is dressed as a lamb, and my question is only if we look at only the lamb, who is the lamb in the scriptures?
Oh, right. 24 times, yeah, Christ. Jesus.
Right? Okay. Now, but speaks like a dragon. So if he speaks like a dragon, does he only have the mouth of a dragon?
The mind of a dragon?
Does he have the mind of the dragon?
Yeah.
Does he have? All right. So who is underneath that covering? Who is underneath that covering of underneath that covering of a lamb skin?
So it says two horns like a lamb. So that means that the horns are different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now I want you to notice something. He speaks like a dragon, but doesn't only have the mouth of a dragon. Speak your mind. It's not your mind
Oh,
talking, it's your mouth. It's actually the dragon, but the dragon is covered by a lamb clothing.
wait,
Now I want you to notice something.
but
Sorry,
he
you go.
doesn't, but he doesn't look like a lamb. His horns only look like a lamb.
Mm-hmm. And not just that, not crowns there. He actually gives authority to the first beast. The beast is
Right.
carrying the crowns. The beast carries the crown. That lamb doesn't have any crowns on it.
Right.
But they go together. The two of them are standing together. Now, I believe that ultimately, when you just look at the symbols, you got a dragon covered by a lamb skin. You got a dragon covered as if it is Christ. You got, in opera they say this: the opera doesn't finish until what? Until someone sings. Who is it? Until the big lady sings, right? The opera does not finish until the lady sings. The big lady sings. I don't think that this is going to finish until Satan impersonates Christ.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This is not finished until now. If you could picture Satan going into a dressing room, like they do in the movies, like one of those makeup artists kind of way. You look at Satan coming in, and he's going to impersonate Christ. How will he come out of that room to impersonate Christ? He needs to look like Christ.
Yeah.
He actually needs to look like Christ. So he needs to look like a lamb.
So does he
And he
need,
actually needs, sorry, you go.
so does he need to look holy?
Absolutely. He needs to look like Christ.
So he's going to
He
act
actually,
and look, and we're going to think of him as holy.
aha. And in order to implement his thing,
Oh,
he will need a system of of um, of empowerment. In other words, troops on the ground. And the troops on the ground, the real authority to impose what he says will actually be from the 10 kings together with the beast. Because we're wandering after the beast, but in reality is through that lamb-made, lamb-like beast that is giving the authority to the first beast. So in other words, you got Satan and his army of systems. So you got the lamb beast, Satan, but the power, in reality, the power to enforce will actually be from the first beast. Now let me explain. Let me explain a little bit further. Now I want you to notice for now the following: that there's going to be an impersonation of Christ. And these are Revelation 12, 13, and 14 are actually summary chapters. So that means that we need to find these fairly clearly in the chapters up to chapter 11. Okay, so come with me to chapter 7 of, I don't know how many of you have actually read what I'm about to share with you in this way. So chapter 7 of the book of Revelation.